It was a blazing afternoon in downtown Chicago. The streets were crowded, the horns loud, and the air thick with impatience. Richard Hayes, one of the city's most powerful CEOs, stood by his broken-down Maybach on the roadside. His driver had tried restarting it a dozen times, but the engine only coughed and died. Within minutes, the city's most trusted auto service arrived. They were supposed to be the best mechanics, with spotless uniforms and expensive tools. But after poking around under the hood for almost an hour, they admitted defeat. "Sir," one of them said, embarrassed, "we can't fix it here. We'll need to tow it back. Might take days." Richard clenched his jaw. He hated waiting. He waved them off. "Forget it. I'll figure something else out." The mechanics packed up and the driver muttered, "What a mess." That's when Richard noticed a man standing a few feet away. He looked nothing like a mechanic. His clothes were torn, his shoes barely holding together. His face was weathered, beard untrimmed, eyes tired but alert. A beggar, that's what everyone assumed when they saw him. But he stepped forward, voice low but steady. "Sir, I can fix it." The driver laughed instantly. "You? This car is worth more than your life. Step back." But Richard didn't laugh. Something in the man's tone caught his attention. There was no hesitation, no begging, just quiet certainty. Richard tilted his head. "What did you say?" "I can fix your car," the man repeated. "What's your name?" Daniel Cole." Against his driver's protests, Richard nodded. "All right, Daniel. Show me what you can do." Daniel set down a worn-out canvas bag, pulling out a few old tools, rusty, mismatched, clearly not from any modern shop. Yet the way he handled them spoke of experience. He bent over the hood, his scarred hands moving with confidence. He listened, tapped, adjusted a few wires, tightened a connection, and cleaned a valve that the other mechanics hadn't even noticed. For 10 minutes, the world seemed to hold its breath. Finally, Daniel looked up. "Try it now." Richard turned the key. The engine roared to life, smooth, perfect. The driver's jaw dropped. Richard's eyes widened. The best city mechanic had failed, but this ragged stranger had done it in minutes. "How?" Richard asked quietly. Daniel smiled faintly. "Machines talk, sir. You just have to listen." Richard studied him. "Where did you learn this?" Daniel's shoulders slumped. His voice softened. "I had my own garage once. People called me the best in town. I loved cars, they were my world. But then my wife got sick. Cancer. Treatment cost everything. I sold the shop, the house, everything. I thought I could save her." He swallowed hard. "But I lost her. And after that, I lost myself." There was silence. Even the driver, who had mocked him, looked ashamed now. Richard saw not a beggar, but a man broken by life. Richard extended his hand. "Daniel, how would you like to work for me?" "Not as a beggar. As my personal mechanic." Daniel blinked, stunned. "Ah? Job? You're serious?" "Dead serious," Richard replied. "I don't believe in wasted talent. And you, my friend, are too skilled to be forgotten on the streets." For the first time in years, Daniel felt tears sting his eyes. He shook Richard's hand firmly. "Thank you, sir. You've given me more than a job. You've given me back my life." Richard kept his promise. He gave Daniel a small apartment, clean clothes, and a fully equipped workshop inside his mansion's garage. Within weeks, Daniel's value was undeniable. He could diagnose cars by sound, by feel, by instinct. Vehicles that other mechanics called hopeless came alive in his hands. Richard introduced him to his wealthy friends. Soon, Daniel wasn't just a mechanic, he was the mechanic everyone wanted. But no matter how many offers came, he stayed loyal to Richard. One evening, Richard hosted a dinner. He stood with a glass of wine, looking at Daniel, who still seemed shy in the grand mansion. Richard raised his glass. To Daniel, the man who taught me that greatness doesn't wear expensive clothes. Sometimes it wears scars and carries old tools, but it's greatness all the same. Everyone clapped. Daniel bowed his head, whispering to himself, "Thank you, Lord, for giving me another chance." Months later, Richard asked him, "Daniel, what do you want for your future? Money? A house? Your own shop again?" Daniel thought for a long moment. "I want to open a workshop, yes. But not for the rich. I want it for the poor boys on the streets, the ones no one believes in. I want to teach them what I know, so they don't end up like me." Richard smiled. "Then let's make it happen." Together, they opened Second Chance Garage. It became more than a repair shop, it was a place of hope. Young men came off the streets, learning discipline, skills, and dignity. Daniel taught them not just how to fix engines, but how to fix their lives. Life is unpredictable. One day you may be ignored, mocked, living in shadows. The next day, one moment of courage can change everything. Daniel's story teaches us, never judge a person by appearance. Talent doesn't disappear in poverty, it only waits for opportunity. Sometimes, all it takes is one person willing to give a chance. And for Richard, it was proof that real wealth isn't in cars or mansions, it's in recognizing the value of people. Daniel once walked the streets unseen. Today he drives his own car, runs his own garage, and trains dozens of young men to believe in themselves. And every time he hears the hum of an engine he fixed, he smiles not because he saved a car, but because he saved himself